What advice would you have for young men that are feeling a little lost in the modern world?
You have to be comfortable with who you are and with your masculinity. Okay, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, most definitely. But there are virtues in being masculine. You don't have to prove that you're a man by demeaning women, by pushing them around, by calling them whores and bitches, etc. You don't have to take the Andrew Tate path in life.
One of the groups, I suppose, I think that's looking for a lot of advice at the moment is young men feeling a little lost, like their place in the world is, I don't know, just uncertain. They don't really know or have the direction. What advice would you have for young men that are feeling a little lost in the modern world?
Well, you have to be comfortable with who you are and with your masculinity. So the word masculine has now got like this negative connotation around it, which is terrible because you're a young man. It's not every young man. Some men don't feel this way. But a lot of young men, I remember myself, you've got this testosterone that's roaring through you. You're competitive. You're ambitious. You have goals. You have this energy. You want to assert yourself. But it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. You're not supposed to be like that, you know? And the culture isn't about, there's no virtue in masculinity. Okay, there is such a thing as toxic masculinity, most definitely. But there are virtues in being masculine, and have to be redefined. And we have to have icons and role models for that. And so when I was growing up, oh God, I sound like, I hated that when people said that when I was a kid. So I know you're going to hate me, but I'll say that. Anyway, I can't help it because it's true. When I was growing up, you know, I watched like a lot of Westerns. You know, it was the silent hero kind of thing, the Gary Cooper thing. But my idea of masculinity growing up was a man who was in control of himself, who wasn't mean, wasn't pushing people around, who was decent, who treated women well. So treating women well is a masculine virtue, is a good thing. It comes from a position of strength. You're not insecure about your masculinity. You don't have to prove that you're a man by demeaning women, by pushing them around, by calling them whores and bitches, etc. You don't have to take the Andrew Tate path in life. You can respect women, and respecting them is a sign of your strength, is a sign of being secure in your masculinity. You don't need to put other people down to make yourself feel better. Okay, so we have to redefine these qualities, but there are no icons like out there. You either have the Andrew Tates out of there, or you have these wimpy men who are just so afraid of being masculine. Okay, your aggression, your assertiveness, your testosterone, it's a good thing. It's how things get done. It's what energizes you, what puts you in the world. What makes you ambitious. What makes you assert yourself and motivate yourself. It has to be channeled. It has to be disciplined. But you have to see, you know, we were talking about our people-pleasing things and how you reframe it. You have to see who you are and see the virtue in it and see the power in that. And it's a cultural problem because men are very confused. I didn't have that confusion when I was growing up, you know. So now it's very difficult because you're being told that all these things that you feel naturally are negative. They're only negative if you can't control them. So self-control is a very masculine quality. You're able to control yourself. You're able to control your passions. You're able to not talk too much if you don't need to talk too much. I'm not saying that women don't have, that the opposite is wrong. These are things that men naturally have because of their biology. And I'm sorry, I do believe in these things. But they're good. They're just how you use them that can be bad. And so I just wish there were more positive role models out there. I know I could be a real bastard. I could be a real asshole. I'm very competitive. When I play games, I like to win. And I can be a little bit mean about it. Okay, I mean, I'm a pleaser, but I like winning. I channeled it all of my aggression, all of that testosterone, I'm not saying I have more than anyone, I just have normal amounts. I pour it into my books. I pour that edge, that aggression, that like, damn you, I don't really like you, I don't like the world, into the 48 laws of power, into here's how these is how people manipulate, these are how people can be bad and cruel, and damn it, I'm going to get at all my aggression by exposing it and showing it and being as real and direct. I channel it into something as opposed to hurting other people kind of thing. So finding ways to channel your aggressive tendencies is a positive way of being a man. You have to find whatever that is. Sports is a great example, but there are other things as well.
It feels a lot like alchemy in a way. Or actually, alchemy is taking something which is bad or useless and turning it into something which is valuable. This is taking something which is uncertain. It could go either way. You know, this desire for mastery, for conquer, for achievement, and using it to propel you forward, and hopefully making the world a better place along. There's no reason that your desire to pursue and conquer and become masterful in a thing has to leave the world worse. It's not some weird zero-sum thing where in order for you to become better, you need to take from the world. I think it's additive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to be smart, and you have to be in control of yourself, and you have to be disciplined. But let's just add discipline to one of those other masculine virtues. It just needs to be redefined. We need people out there, men, and even women who feel comfortable with this, saying these are the virtues. These are the good sides of being a man and being masculine. And so even mastering things and even being competitive is not bad. You build a business that kicks ass, that does really well, that gives people certain things that they needed or they wanted. So it's just a matter of how you channel that energy and how you control it. And what the virtues are is self-control, not feeling like you have to put people down in order to raise yourself up, feeling confident, not having to boast. A terrible toxic masculine quality is boasting and saying, look how much money I have, look how much women I've slept with, look at all this other thing. You're just talking. It's just a lot of hot air. That's not strong. That's actually weak.